Alexander Graham Bell, inventor of the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell was born March 3, 1847. His parents were Alexander Melville Bell and Eliza Grace Simmons. He had two siblings, two brothers, Melville and Edward. His childhood. Alexander Graham Bell grew up in Edinburgh, Scotland with his family. Learning from the family. As a child, Bell inherited a musical talent from his mother, who was a musician and also a portrait painter. He was taught by his grandfather and father about public speaking. Hello, Grandpa. When Bell was 13 years old, he spent a year with his grandfather in London. To Graham, this year was the turning point of his life. Hermann von Helmholtz. Bell read books in the library about Hermann von Helmholtz, a German scientist who experimented with electrical vibrations to make vowel sounds. He researched his experiments so that someday he might be able to reconstruct them in his own home. Early life. At the age of 16, Graham began to teach music and speech at a boys' school. Years later, Bell started teaching his father's visual speech to deaf and hearing impaired children. Here's a picture of Bell at the age of 29. Tuberculosis, 1870. In 1870, Bell's two brothers died of tuberculosis. Since Bell was also threatened, his family decided to move to a healthier environment, Canada. Hello, Boston. Goodbye, Canada. After Graham was safe from catching the disease, his job led him to a physiology professor at Boston University in the United States. Boston University. While Bell was in Massachusetts, he invented the harmonic telegraph, an instrument that makes it possible to send multiple telegraphs on one line. The telephone is patented. On March 7, 1876, Bell received his patent for the telephone. Mr. Watson, come here. I want you. On March 10, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell was in his testing room with his partner, Watson. Reeds. The experiment they were working with had reeds that were thin and steel. One of the reeds was stuck, so Watson plucked it to try to fix it. Successful. When he did, Graham heard the vibration clearly through the newly invented telephone. The simple telephone. There are three parts to the simple telephone: the speaker, the microphone, and the switch, also known as the hook switch. Microphone, speaker, hook switch, which is connected to the wall jack. The hook switch. The hook switch connects and disconnects the phone from the telephone network. The network is connected when you pick up the phone. The speaker. The speaker picks up the sound waves from the other line and sends them through the network to your eardrums. The sounds vibrate in your ear, and you then have sound. The microphone. The microphone has a diaphragm where the sound waves vibrate the area. The amplifier, a small part of the telephone, then sends it through to the other line speaker, reinterpreting the sounds into physical vibrations. a more modernized telephone. To make up the real telephone, there are the three major parts, like the simple phone, and three new parts. These include the duplex coil, the keypad, and the ringer. Here's the duplex coil. Here's the keypad. The duplex coil. In the simple phone, you can hear yourself through the speaker when you talk. The duplex coil is a device that enables you to speak into the microphone without hearing your voice. The ringer. The ringer was also an improvement made from the simple telephone. The ringer is made up of a bell so that you are aware when another line is calling you. Keypad. The touch tone keypad consists of 12 buttons. It has the digits 1 through 9 and 0. To the left of the 0 is the star key. Located on its right is the pound key. The telephone may seem like a complicated machine, but it really is one of the simplest devices that you may find in your home or anywhere else you can imagine. The telephone today. Today, phones have been able to get even smaller and even have no cords. In the bottom left, there is a Palm Pilot that can be used as a phone. The telephone is a unique piece of equipment. No one can imagine our world without it. A sad day in history. On August 2nd, 1922, Alexander Graham Bell died at his home in Baddeck, Nova Scotia.